What's up, boys? We're back with yet another Zombie Survivors now that the game is fully released and out of early access. They've added a new little base hub where everything is sort of consolidated now. You've got all of your meta progression in here with your training points. They've added a new mission system where you can take on little objectives for each of the characters and speed through their meta progression a little bit faster. But I've already gotten a decent amount of that, and I actually want to do some infinite mode. This would just be default mode if we wanted to work on that one. Got chats, achievements, lots of lore-based stuff, but let's just jump on into a run and try out the new character. So we've got the Ranger. She starts off with a good boy, a good bird, and then she has an AoE stun that also marks enemies, and a little turret that will buff up your crit chance. So we're going to take her as the party leader, go over here onto Infinite and difficulty 3. For badges, we're going for ability cooldown, a chance to reset them instantly, and then we're going to do lots of healing and armor and health, and I'll explain that in a moment. So we start off with a crossbow weapon which will apply marked to enemies it hits, and then once we unlock the abilities for the good boy and the good bird, they will do extra damage and area when they hit a marked target. And I saw an evolution for one of our utility abilities that sounded pretty interesting. We're going to get the good boy first so that we have some damage going. I think it was the whistle. Whenever you dodge or parry or just get hit by a zombie attack, it instantly casts the ability and also has some sort of bonus effect. It might have been healing on that, but we'll go ahead and get that so we get some AoE marking, and we want to evolve that pretty quickly. And then I think one of the evolutions for the instance turret causes it to give you some healing pulses as it sits there and you stay in the area of effect of it. So I think there's some potential to do an interesting sort of animal tank build where we try to get super tanky, take a lot of hits from the zombies to trigger that whistle ability and all of its utility as fast as possible. And then to combine with that, let's just pump that up pretty quickly, try to get the evolution for some of the animals so we have some good damage. So I think we're going to add in the medic, of course, since she has by far the best healing and survivability, so that'll be perfect for a build that wants to get hit a lot. And then the engineer will probably fit nicely with that as well. We'll max out the dog so we can start looking at the evolutions for that. The engineer is a really good caster. You've got that grenade evolution that will reduce one of your other ability cooldowns whenever it explodes. And I think he actually has an evolution that goes kind of with his build. Let's see. I think this is what we want for the dog. It will latch on to bosses and it has a lower cooldown, so that should be big single target. The other one for this is just a utility upgrade that makes it fetch like power-ups and military training and stuff. So I don't think that's super important since we hopefully become super tanky and can just walk through the zombies and pick up anything we want to anyways. Let's see. Let's grab a level in the Falcon so we have that for some extra AoE. And then I think we'll probably try and pump up the whistle next so that we can see what the utility it has whenever you get hit. Because I kind of forgot what that was when I was trying to think of what classes I wanted to combine with this. But the engineer also has something similar to that on his electric pulse AoE on everything close to him. So that whenever he gets hit or dodges or parries an attack, he also triggers that every time, I think. So that could be pretty cool with the build. We'll take some Falcon here, I think. Yeah, the Falcon has an evolution that's... We'll just do some rerolls here to try and find one of them. Okay, here's the medic. The Falcon evolution does healing whenever it hits a marked target. And I think there's some other effect on top of that, but we mainly want the healing for the tanky build where we're trying to get hit a lot. So we'll take some more whistle here, try and get that ready for the evolution. Oh yeah, they've added a ton of new items as well, and some of those can almost define a build on their own as well. There's of course some of the ones that scale up with your movement speed, which are really interesting. Oh, we got a pretty strong one for the tank build. We lose about 20% of our HP, but 3 times stronger on all healing effects. That sounds insane. I don't think we need to ban any of these. I'm not super interested in locking any either, so we'll just go ahead and grab that. Or insane healing as we level up the medic skills, and of course the evolutions for the ranger should give us quite a bit of healing as well. But yeah, I think there's an item that gives you chemical damage based on your movement speeds. Let's go ahead and grab Incense, since that is required for some of the healing once we evolve it. And we can get some crit as we stand nearby it. And then there's also, I think, caster stats, like ability damage and area or something based on your movement speed. So you can combine those two items and get an absolutely insane chemical caster as you scale up your movement speed, which is always a fun stat to stack if you gain other bonuses for it. So we'll max out the whistle and get that ready for the evolution. See what we can get for that. Ability damage, that's pretty solid. Do we need to ban any of these? I don't think so. So we'll just go ahead and grab that. And I guess probably the Ranger should be good here, since we're trying to trigger his stuff as often as possible. And then when we trigger the whistle a lot, enemies should basically always be marked for the pets, I think, for the extra damage on them. So hopefully it should end up being pretty good damage there as well. So it adds 100 armor and triggers whenever we get hit, dodge, or parry, and then it stuns elites and bosses. And then it increases the duration, but the cooldown gets a little bit slower. Otherwise, we could go for bonus damage on them with improved duration and cooldown. But yeah, that sounds really cool for the build here. So by default, we take 2/3 damage at 50 armor. And what does that look like if we take a hit over here? So we're at, where's my armor? Over here, 0.45, so a little under half damage now, while that buff is active. We can also cast that naturally as well if we gain some decent cooldown reduction, so that we'll have it active for whenever we take the hits as well. But we don't really have that much healing yet, so I don't really want to trigger it on purpose yet. Take some more Falcon levels so we can get some healing on that evolution, hopefully. Have a military training, and then let's pop over for that magnet, see if we can find the Hawk evolution there. Let's see, we could grab some stim pack to have that buff going a little bit. Oh, only one level. Guess we didn't really have that much XP on the ground yet. Alright, let's see if we can find the engineer up here. Let's go ahead and get the Falcon up to level 5. Probably just going to toss some rerolls to get him pretty quickly if we don't find him here. Engineer, not too bad. Oh yeah, you can see the synergies they have available on the recruitment page now. That's pretty cool. So the Ranger, marked enemies have a chance to be electrified. And then that's about the only thing we get there. That applies a stun for 1 second, and then if we get the tag to a pretty high level, which the engineer can easily do on his own, it will also give us a chance to cause a lightning strike for some bonus damage. So here we go. It retaliates when we are hit, dodge, or parry an attack, and then whenever the Falcon hits a marked target, it restores at least 5 HP multiplied by your healing stuff. So that sounds perfect. Otherwise, we would have gone for a much lower cooldown, but it would hit 3 times, so bit of a higher damage thing versus a tank thing. Let's see, locking down a military training increases the rarity each time. That sounds pretty interesting. Oh, here's one of the movement things I mentioned earlier. So 5 movement speed gives you 1% to damage area and duration. Both of those sound pretty cool. So I think what we'll do is we'll lock that, and then grab that, and then we'll start locking down some of the high priority military training stuff, so we can start to cultivate that up to a high rarity and gain a ton of stats for something super important like movement speed. Now that we have the item that synergizes with that, could be pretty cool. Armor would be fantastic for the build, so we can take more hits. We don't really even need to dodge those trash mobs now, do we? I'll take probably Electrocution. I think that's the one that has the dodge parry hit thing for the engineer, so we'll start leveling that up. And then can we just run through the trash mobs to get a little bit of extra damage from the Hawk now? Kind of seems like we can already. I wasn't expecting that to come online so early. We'll do the Medic's spell, I think. Get some explosives going over there. Oh yeah, the projectiles actually don't do that much damage either, so we can take some of those if there's stuff nearby. Oh yeah, the poison clouds. We can stand in those already. Wow, this build already started a lot earlier than I was expecting. Electrocution level 3. Probably want to avoid the big red elite guys. But it seems like we are chilling already. Let's do more electrocution. Oh yeah, I think the upgrade for the electrocution turns it into chemical damage. So there's actually a little bit of synergy there. Since we already have one movement item, we can grab the other movement item, hopefully later into the run, that scales your chemical damage. And then we can grab all of the chemical upgrades on the medic. And then that will give us a bunch of damage over time, and I think movement slow once we get that to a higher level. And then it can proliferate the damage over time at 10 or more. Sounds pretty cool. Alright, let's get electrocution maxed out so we can try and find the evolution for that. Alright, so we could lock that if I wanted legendary weapon attack speeds. There are a few items that are pretty helpful with that. I think there's one of them that reduces ability cooldowns when you crit with a weapon. So having a little bit of attack speed and crit chance for that might be kind of good since we get basically a free legendary with the item now. And obviously we'll take the area and I think put that on the ranger so that the pets are basically always guaranteed to land their hits and get the healing from the hawk. Oh wow, we already got that. Always activates on hit, dodge, and parry, and it's chemical now as well with a bit of a damage bonus. Not bad. So now we have absolutely insane damage whenever we get hit. We are absolutely busted already. Wow. Let's do the grenade. That has a pretty cool evolution that reduces cooldowns of other abilities when it explodes. They're like not even moving by HP and just dying instantly. This is difficulty 3, right? Guess so. Like, I guess we did get pretty lucky with finding the same ability upgrades pretty quickly, so that we could get the perfect evolutions pretty quickly. I'll do the grenade here, I think. Ooh, we could get the ban hammer to start banning some of the stat increases that we don't want that much. Let's see. How many of these do we have set up? So we lose these two, and I think gain bonuses to everything else, right? Yeah, it's bad at 6 or above, so if you're going to take this, it would have to be early on. I guess we'll try it out. Yeah, why not? There is a pretty cool item that I think does pair pretty nicely with that. It gives you a chance to apply a random status effect anytime you apply any status effect. So that would, the one we just got would sort of make everything stronger other than the two we lost a little on. But that'll pair pretty nicely if we can find that at some point. I think I'll take the experiment so we can upgrade the chemical stats a bit since we have the really cool electrocution thing already, which is chemical based. Then now we just get 3 levels off of these. I'll do some more grenade here. Just sit on the poison cloud and farm some damage on the elite real quick. And then we'll take turret level here, I think. Let's do a bit more medical drone. That'll give us some passive healing, and then if we get that maxed out, we can turn it into healing full time instead of just when we're sitting still. I'll do a bit more turret here, I think. And then max out the grenade, get that ready for evolution. Sit in a poison cloud for a bit. Actually, that's kind of doing even more than the drone can heal us. Let's not go too hard on it yet. We're off to a great start. We just need to make it into a decent number of items, and I think we'll be good. I'll do a bit more turret here, I think. I guess if there's enemies nearby, then the hawk healing whenever it gets hit will probably cancel that out, but we're killing stuff too fast. I can't really get the healing off of them right now. Let's do a little bit more turret here to max that out. So 3 grenades that deal damage of random types. Oh, here we go. Every grenade explosion reduces a random ability by 15%. That's really cool as you gain cooldown reduction for the engineer, because then you're kind of scaling your other character's cooldown as well off of the grenade itself. Yeah, I guess we actually probably should focus the caster upgrades on him because of that. We're already stacking the cooldown reduction on him for the grenade, then we might want to put the damage on him as well. Let's see, the turrets will taunt nearby enemies. I think that is the one we want. The other one gives you a massive penalty to the range. And the range on there actually refers to the radius of them. It's actually like a lot worse than it seems like at first. So we can lock that to farm it up to legendary. I don't think we need to ban any of those. We'll just go ahead and take a legendary here. And then let's see. I think the engineer's weapon is very good at hitting quickly. Once we get it to tier 3, which will be much later on, so we'll just toss that onto him. This item sounds pretty cool, but the can't stop moving thing is honestly kind of annoying, I feel like, the one time I tried it. The stats are super nice, but I just don't think I want an item that feels super annoying to use. So I'm probably just going to ban that one. And then we'll just go ahead and take the movement speed thing here, I think. Shame because the stats on it are so nice. But I kind of just like giving my hand a break a bit every once in a while. And it makes it a lot easier to stay on like the projectiles and the poison clouds whenever they appear. When we want to take a bunch of damage to trigger the on-hit stuff. Let's take the medical drone up to level 4 here, I think. Got experiment up to level 4, seems decent. And then we'll take a level in resuscitation just to have it. We can max out either of those. Let's go ahead and grab the drone so we can start looking for the defensive mode for that. Here we go. It only heals, and then it has a shield that nullifies damage. 50% increase on the passive region. Sounds pretty good. Let's see. Chemical makes a lot of sense, but so does electrify. I guess I'd probably want to focus more on damage than stunning. And it sounds interesting to have enemies actually hitting us a lot later on. And then increasing the radius of the explosion, where it transfers the damage over time effect to nearby enemies, sounds kind of cool as well. But I think the electrify probably would give us a little bit more damage, but that's not really the biggest goal here. kind of just want to see how tanky we can get and what all we can do with all of the on-hit stuff, because it sounds funny. Let's do incense so we can start getting another source of healing, and then I think Stimpack has an evolution that gives healing as well. So ice only, we want to get the chemical on that for this build, I think. So we will take a Stimpack level here, I think. I think we're doing kind of a mixed build, so I think we can actually go ahead and banish that. Fire causes freeze instead of burn. I'm not sure that's going to do a ton. Let's just toss some rerolls, see if we can find something that sounds really cool here. 15% chance for half ability cooldown sounds pretty cool. I think I'm fine with that. Oh, actually, we didn't have to ban that. We could have combined it with this to add a lot of tags to a bunch of different stuff. And then that would have been pretty cool with the status thing that applies all of the other different types of status effects. Ah well, kind of forgot about that combo. Oh yeah, here we go. Permanent poison cloud procs. Let's do an energy shield level here. Is there a way to turn off like the flashing when you get hit? Because that is going to get super annoying into the late game. Graphics probably under here. Don't see anything for it's there. Enemy hit effects? No. I don't think there's anything when I get hit, is there? Doesn't seem like it. Oh well. Let's do the chemical conversion for the grenades to get that locked in. And then we can max that out. Do I want to ban anything here? I think XP probably isn't that great. We can gain a bit of that from some items. So we'll narrow down the stat pool a little bit. And out of these, I guess everything procs on dodges, so that sounds cool. To upgrade the rarity on that a bit. So ability crits, we... You know what? I think I'm going to toss everything onto Ranger other than cooldown. Since the grenades will help out the other ones anyways, we'll still gain some value out of that. And we kind of want to test out the Ranger and see how well she can really do when we invest everything into her anyways. Let's do Stimpack up to level 5. I'll do some more energy shield here. Here we go, restores 100 health points on injection. The armor does sound nice, but we can gain plenty of that from level ups and military training, whereas there's a pretty limited amount of healing you can get in a run. It's only like a few items you can get to really improve that a bit, I think. So it's a much more limited resource, I feel like. Incense level up to 4. Man, it's weird getting used to actually wanting to run into enemies instead of trying to avoid everything. But it's actually so much damage already. But I have to break the habit tonight. Incense up to level 5. Every time you open an item chest, get a level up, and then SOS signals give you cash. That sounds pretty good. Let's see, what do we have for taunting? The turrets on the engineer. So that seems pretty insane as well. Alright, let's lock down that, and then get this so we start gaining the bonuses from it. So this will no longer give positive effects, but applies fear and marked. But the whistle that triggers whenever we get hit should already basically permanently mark stuff. And the other one gives us healing, I think, so no. We'll take a resuscitation level, I think. Same one, we'll take some energy shield up to level 5. Let's see, the dome is smaller but blocks projectiles, or it freezes enemies. The projectiles have pretty low damage, so I might actually want to get hit by those, so Sub-Zero it is. Oh, they actually do a lot more if you're directly on top of the explosion. We need to be a bit careful about that, I guess. Here we go. Every pulse restores 20 HP, and then stacking bonus to luck stat as well. We're at 30. So you'll farm that up to legendary. And then I guess we'll take some armor here. Sure. And then maxed outs were at 60. Did I... What would that go into to give us plus 30? Or did the stacks I already have give me some? Would it be 6 a stack? Oh no, we're up to 70 now. I don't know. Looks like maybe 10, and we had some stacks already. Let's take a resuscitation level here, since that's almost ready to evolve. And then luck is, I think, rarity on the military power-ups, which are one of your biggest sources of stats overall. And then I think also drop chance on some of the temporary power-ups. So actually pretty strong in the long run. We'll go ahead and max that out. Let's see, collects all XP and health packs on the map. Gain damage but lose max HP. That sounds pretty bad for the tank build, so Hoarder it is. Then what do we want here? Ooh, 25% chance for an extra set of choices. Ooh, triplet chance of higher quality upgrades. Ooh, I want all of these? I think what we'll do is, I guess, lock down this, and then grab this right away. And I think this actually can trigger on this one if you already have something on lockdown. But it's only 25%, so we didn't get it there. But that should give us a lot of items in the long run, I guess. Taser, since we have the attack speed upgrade on him that we got earlier. Do some more taser. Taser. Man, that item we got early on with the healing multiplier, that is insane. 3 times stronger on healing effects? That is actually crazy now. I think it used to cut your HP in half or something, and I never took it back then because it just made you so squishy, but that is really strong now if you build for it. Let's get the Tesla evolution over there. Actually, ability cooldown. We might want to grab that when it's available. That, and I think armor would be pretty good. We can wait a little bit on the weapons since they aren't that important for this build. So we want a legendary duration. That'll work on the turrets and the instance healing thing. That's kind of cool. Okay, do we want to ban any of those? I think both of those stats pair nicely with some of the items we can get. So we'll just upgrade that and grab the dodge now that it's ready. Ooh, 20% healing bonus. That's not bad. It's back. I think I'll probably just lock the 100% damage. That seems pretty insane. And we'll go ahead and grab the military training since we're already doing that anyways. Triple the chance of higher quality upgrades seems pretty insane. I'll do Tesla level here. Another Tesla level. So we are looking for the laser. Has really insane attack speed, I think. If we gain any sort of items that have procs whenever we crit or anything, then we'll just keep leveling that up. Yeah, just a constant stream of damage on anything it's targeting. More laser. Another laser. Oh, receiving damage, reset cooldown of a random ability and reload all weapons. That sounds pretty cool for this build. I think this actually does count the maximum bonus on infinite mode. So we have a bunch of really insane things here. I suppose we'll keep the mousetrap and then get this just because it sounds cool for the build. Oh, we got the bonus item here, okay. Oh! We can take damage, which will trigger all of our on-hit stuff, the bird and the electrocution thing, and then 25% all stats. That sounds really cool as well. Oh man, we're getting so lucky with the cool items here. This is a sick run so far. And with the 3 times stronger healing, we should be able to easily cancel that out at all times. We can farm that up to legendary, and we can ban weapon crit damage. Don't ever need that for anything, I think. And then duration, let's see. He has the lightning turrets, she has the buffing and healing thing. So that would give us more healing there. I think that sounds good. Let's see, we can eventually gain some more chemical on this, or we can make this better at applying the mark status, which I don't think even matters here, but we'll do it anyways, just in case. Let's do crossbow and see what we gain on the next military training. Let's see, if they're 4 or more, so the later you get that, the better. Everything is above 4 if we want to take that at some points. That's pretty cool for some extra healing. And then we have the max bonuses on that. Man, so many good items here. Let's go ahead and take the taunt thing, and then I guess lock down that, since it'll be max bonuses. Electric is pretty solid. Yeah, why not? Weapon cooldown. Probably just gonna ban that stuff. I think we can probably get some items to buff it up a bit later on. Well, that's the only rare. Let's go ahead and ban this. And then bring that up to legendary, I guess? Or we might also just get something better with the bell anyways that gives us the triple rarity. Let's start leveling up the handgun now. And then that'll give us some more chemical tag, that'll be kind of nice. Just constant purple lightning everywhere, that's so cool. Man, this worked out so much more ridiculous than I was even expecting. Ooh, 10% chance to activate twice. Ooh, tons of XP and cash. Man, these items are so good. I guess I'll lock that and grab this so we have the XP as long as possible. And hopefully get the ability thing later on, though. I'll take the ability cooldown, I think. That's pretty nice. More syringe gun. Oh man. Well, I guess we're definitely taking that. I could lock that still. I guess it's fine. We'll toss that on the Inji. So we want the extra chemical flask here. Oh, I guess that's chemical as well. I'm not really sure what the difference between these is. I think this has a bit of an AoE. So that will probably be better at hitting lots of enemies with the debuff then. Let's do more blasts. And then 50% weapon attack speed isn't the most useful, but it is kind of cool. But I think we'll just grab the really strong ability stuff here. Oh, that actually should work whenever we getting the free procs from getting hit, shouldn't it? Since that should count as activating them. Let's see, I don't think we need to lock any of these. Although that should work against the chemical effects. But it's only 25% damage, not that exciting. Let's grab the level. No stats that I really want there. Let's see, we did have the 1 movement speed thing, but only +2. Probably not that important. Military training is way better on some of the stats like that, I think. I guess really we should try and ban all of the military training stats down until we have armor, plus whatever sort of damage increases I want. Probably just movement speed here, since that will scale up so many things with the items. Like armor and movement speed, maybe cooldown reduction? And then we could have one more and just lock one of them and always farm up stuff. Oh, dodge would be good to have. So I guess we should probably ban crit chance, huh? Since we'll have plenty of other stuff to grab. Well, before we do that, I kind of want to ban that and take the other ones. Whatever. I'll just lock the dodge, grab you, and then we'll ban that one after we're done with that. Let's put that on the ranger? No, the blast, since those are 1 ammo, I think. I'll just take another level here. Extra healing is nice. Oh, we can double the gem bonuses, and we already have 2 of those maxed out. That's pretty cool. Oh man, 10% chance per survivor for half damage. These are all so cool. Let's lock that, and then double the gem bonuses, I think, since we gain a lot of XP off of that. Some nice ability sets there. That's pretty cool. repeater level. And then I think I have some meta levels on this, but I didn't have enough points for the other ones. So we'll just go ahead and take that for some more electrical. Ooh, armor's not bad here. Yeah, I'll take that when it's available. Like, movement speed is 1/5 of the levels that you gain from military training, and then that's at half, I think? Kinda weird. Let's take the shock spike level here. There's the 10% chance for half damage. Let's go ahead and take that and keep the healing bonus locked, I think. Legendary dodge, and then we can banish some weapon stuff here. I guess we should try and find a blue to upgrade here. Okay, good enough. Well, I guess if you need to farm some meta progression levels on the Ranger, and you actually have like the tier 4 already, I think it was where we got that evolution. Although this build is so strong on the highest difficulty that even without that you might be fine still, to be honest. Let's see, ability cooldown is nice, sure. And then I think pickup range scales up some caster-related stats with some of the items. Ew, 1%. Let's do some crit damage here then. Crit chance. I wonder if we could just like AFK in the corner and farm stuff. Just funnel them all into one little area. Kind of seems like it. But I need more items. Armor's not bad here. We don't need to lock any of those. Kinetic is not bad if we have something that actually applies that. Since at 10 or higher, it also lowers the damage they deal. So that actually does sound fantastic for the tank build. We'll lock that for later and grab the healing. Armor. We could lock the area. Man, we could really use the banhammer for getting rid of some of these, huh? Another armor. Oh, here we go. When an enemy receives a status effect, 25% chance for another random one. That sounds really cool. That sounds pretty helpful. But I think I'm fine going for both of those. Let's keep that one locked and then grab that, I think. Since that's a pretty unique effect. Not in love with any of these. I guess probably duration for the healing turret thing. Oh man! Why can't I hold all these legendaries? I guess we probably take armor and then keep that locked. So with the armor buff up, we're at 225.4 times damage. Let's do some ability crit here, and then area, I suppose. Pick up. Ability cooldown, I think, here. Another chemical sounds pretty good. It's kinetic for damage taken and damage reduced. Yeah, I guess that probably makes the most sense for the full tank build. Although, I wish I could see how much it reduces enemy damage by. It increases the damage they take by 26%, but what's the damage reduction they have? I guess health or XP. Oh, we do have the movement thing. Yeah, I guess that probably makes the most sense here then. Cash activates at super speed. I don't think I care about that too much. I guess that would guarantee that we can always farm something up to legendary. Oh, but we are second pickup range already, so I would like to have that. Now the lightning just hits the entire screen every time it procs. I kind of want to see how much that does to me. Can I even die if I wanted to? Ability and duration. I guess we'll toss some rerolls for rares, and then upgrade that area onto maybe the engineer for the grenades. For the specific survivor, they all gain 50% of the bonus anyway, so it's probably not that big of a deal when we put them on. I'll do probably crit damage here. Let's do area, I guess. I think I dodged that. My HP bar didn't even move there. How much dodge are we at? 48%. I'll do ability damage. My damage doesn't even seem bad for a tank build. Like, if I start taking hits, everything just dies on the entire screen anyways. Pick up range. I think we have the two things that scale with that now, so that's pretty good. 100% if you're at full HP. Kind of late for that. Do we have any explosions? The grenade is one. So that actually is kind of cool for it. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I don't think a single one of those charges has even damaged me in like the past 5 minutes. Either that or I'm just instantly healing back at the full and my bar isn't even moving. Pick up. We can farm the armor up to max and grab that onto probably Ranger. My HP is still not moving. Ability damage. Ability duration. Cooldown, yep. Oh. Although, I've actually been avoiding HP here. Since I take some percentage damage from that one thing. And then all the healing is like a flat amount. But I guess it's probably okay still. Some decent armor stuff. Sure, why not? I don't know if I'm ever gonna grab that. There's just so much good stuff. Attack speed. Cooldown. We can farm that up to legendary. I guess weapon cooldown just in case. Magnet causes all enemies to receive 8,000 damage with a chance of stun. Interesting, don't think I've seen that before. I don't think any of these are super important. I guess we probably could just use some rerolls. Ability crits can reload weapons, so we would have infinite ammo, but healing bonuses are super nice. Oh, can you see your total healing modifier with all of those things? 380%. Let's see. So I think those are additive, since that alone does almost that much. So I guess they're not that good if you already have the 3 times stronger effects. I'll do some attack speed here, I suppose. Oh, 772. The bosses actually hit pretty hard. Although I do instantly heal up so fast that my bar doesn't even move. Pick up, yeah, we can farm that up. Put that on the ranger. And maybe a little bit more dodge. Even though it kind of sucks on the level ups. Yeah, I guess health isn't bad now that we gain the crit from it. And they're hitting for almost half my HP. Ability crits. Fanhammer, we can trim the stats down a little bit. That's actually pretty good as well. Since we gain 2 stats from pickup, and then the nice bonus of the magnet, sounds pretty cool. Armor. And I guess just luck or attack speed. I don't know. That zombie's dancing! Look at him! What is he doing? Oh, that's the medic on steroids! It looks like that zombie that exploded there got stuck in an animation. Like right as she was throwing the flask. Let's do ability duration and grab that. Ability damage. Weapon cooldown, I suppose. So 15% crits on that. Don't think anything here is super important. We'll just go ahead and grab the chick magnets. Oh, there's the combo so that we can gain even more items. Not really sure how much longer I'm going to go on this, but it does sound pretty good in the long run. Oh crap, I actually need to have something locked there even if I don't want something later on. Oops. Forgot about that. I mean, I'm so busted, does it really even matter? Ah well. Ability duration. Ability crits, we can lock that and go ahead and ban attack speed. Let's see, yeah, I guess I'll just do that on Ranger. Health. Kinetic for more debuffing, I think. Guess area? Yeah, these seem kind of junk. Ability crits. Oh, here we go. Weapon crits can reduce an ability cooldown. That sounds really cool. Oh, we do need to lock something even if I don't want anything here. And then freeze proliferates to nearby enemies. That's kind of cool. Oh, we do have the final gem for the Geode. That sounds kind of cool, even though weapon stats aren't that important. But having the absolute max bonuses on all three of those is kind of cool. Ooh. Oh, I thought he did over 1,000, but that was just two numbers merging together there. $82? That must have been one of the projectiles. ability cooldown or pickup. We can farm that up. And we could probably just ban crit chance at this point. Put that on the ranger. Movement, I suppose. Ooh, permanent HP. I guess we could maybe grab that as well. Unless I'm actually close to maxing out my item slots, I'm not even sure if you can in Infinite. Extra damage whenever we get an SOS signal. I'll just do some health, why not? Movement speed. Did I ever get in the chemical damage item? No, it would be way higher than 150%. So that's actually a really strong one we probably didn't even see yet, huh? Pickup range, not bad. Yeah, probably just go ahead and grab that. Banish health regen. Oh, 380 on the charge, it looks like. Barely 10% of my HP, really? Movements. And grab the XP. Then I don't really care that much here. I guess we could just lock something random and grab the pickup range. Oh yeah, there's an item that gives you stacking HP and armor whenever you get hit, which would have been absolutely insane on this run. And even without that, I'm completely immortal still. Dodge. Ability crits. I guess we upgrade armor and grab one of these. I guess crit damage is actually better. So we gain the free procs whenever we get hit or parry or whatever. Ability damage. Crit chance. Instant reload is kind of cool. Yeah, may as well. At least rare. I'm not even sure that does anything here. But may as well complete the military training set. I don't think I'm going to take this run too much longer. There's no way I could ever die, even if I wanted to. Like, if I just constantly run into this guy, my HP bar is barely even moving. It would probably take me at least several more hours for them to ramp up enough to have even a small chance of killing me, it would seem like. Armor. And we're getting too long for a YouTube video. To perform well, that is. And I mean, the gameplay isn't really changing. I was immortal 40 minutes ago, and I'm still immortal. Just with slightly higher stats now. This build seems a little bit busted. Finish that, upgrade that, grab the armor. I'll do some cooldown here though. Stacking weapon cooldown and attack speed. I guess that helps the solar panel a small amount. Sure. Oh, team leader's attacks have a chance to life seal to you. That's pretty cool. Sure. So yeah, I guess if you like Thorns tank builds, or just really chill builds where you don't really have to play a lot in general, this seems really busted. But I think we'll probably just call it at the 1 hour mark here on in-game time, since that's already going to be way longer than that with all of the pausing on the menus when I was deciding between the choices. One last look at some of our stats. 180% on electric, 155 million from that, 34 million on the chemical. I guess that would be 12 million on the damage increase buff, but I have no idea how much that's actually reducing enemy damage by. 25 a second regen, almost 4 times as much percent healing. And the Ranger honestly seems to have a ton of healing if you build for it. Permanent elite damage, the panic whenever we get hits, lots of armor, tons of healing on the Guardian whenever we get hit, and then tons of healing on that based on like duration and cooldown, scaling that up quite a bit. Wait, how does that have DPS? It just buffs me. What? 675 DPS? Is it counting the crit or something? No idea. But we have 80% crits, 555 crit damage, 180 area, 171 duration, 59 cooldown, and how is the cooldown on the engineer? 61.7. Crazy number of items, and we got some really good ones as well. Pretty high military training upgrades. We got all of the gems maxed out. That was pretty cool. But I think that's going to be it for now. We can end the run here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.